where the truth always matters. Your hosts are Charlie the Country Conservative and Brendan Statler from The Brendan Statler Show. Now on with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, patriots and truth seekers, welcome to the Conservative Viewpoint. I'm your host, Charlie, the Country Conservative.
And I'm Brendan Statler from The Brendan Statler Show.
Today we got a hell of a show for you guys. We're diving headfirst into the turbulent waters of current political news. So buckle up. We're about to dissect the headlines, challenge the narratives, and separate the signal from the noise. Now, my fellow conservatives, let's talk about the battle for America's soul. From the hallowed halls of Congress to the bustling streets of our heartland, our nation stands at a crossroads. The winds of change blow fiercely, and the stakes have never been higher. So in the red corner, we have the defenders of liberty, the guardians of tradition, faith, and family. They're waving the flag, standing firm against the tide of progressivism. But in the blue corner, the progressive juggernauts march forward, fueled by promises of utopia, equity, and radical transformation. It's a clash of ideologies, my friends, and our arena is our great nation. Now, on today's episode, we're going to dissect whodunit in the Jack Smith tampering with the evidence on Donald Trump's document case, and why Donald Trump wants Jack Smith arrested immediately. A court drama that could reshape the political landscape. But wait, there's more. We'll always dive deep into Biden giving the Medal of Freedom, and it's supposed to be one of the highest civilian awards given for certain reasons, but these reasons were not met. Not in my opinion, anyways. But you be the judge. And we're going to get into so much more. So grab your favorite mug of whatever, settle into your armchair, and join us as we navigate this stormy sea of politics. Remember, my friends, the truth is our North Star, and we are charting a course toward it one episode at a time. So now let's get on with the show. What's going on, Brendan?
So big story breaking out, and this is the Daily Mail reporting, by the way, and this is just goes to show you how serious this story is, because the Daily Mail is no friend to Donald Trump or MAGA. But the headline says, D.C. National Guard whistleblower claims Trump was stripped of his commander-in-chief powers on January 6. Colonel Earl Matthews came forward as a whistleblower to the House subcommittee reviewing the January 6th Select Committee's investigation. I prefer to call them the Unselect Committee, but anyway, excuse me. He claims that Mark Milley, general of the Joint Chiefs of Staff at the time, and then Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy were plotting to disobey any orders handed down by Trump because they unreasonably assumed that the president was going to break the law and try to use the D.C. National Guard to stop certification of the 2020 presidential election results. And another thing I wanted to read to you, just to give you a little backstory on this. This is a little long, but stick with me on this. This is from the U.S. Code. You can find this on the House of Representatives website. This is section 2387. Whoever with intent to interfere with, impair, or influence the loyalty, morale, or discipline of the military or naval forces of the United States advises, counsel, urges, or any manner causes or attempts to cause insubordination, disloyalty, mutiny, or refusal of duty by any member of the military or naval forces of the United States, or distributes or attempts to distribute any written or printed matter, which advises, counsels, or urges insubordination, disloyalty, mutiny, or refusal of duty by any member of the military or naval forces of the United States shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both, and shall be ineligible for employment by the United States or any department or agency thereof for the 5 years next following his conviction. So the two generals in question here Mark Milley. We all know Mark Milley being one of them.
Shit.
Yep. So I just lost my article. But anyway, the two generals in this, Mark Milley being one of them, Ryan McCarthy, is that what I said? I think that was the other one's name. They were both plotting to undermine Trump's authority and disobey any orders that he may have given, which is a form of treason in the United States because the president is the commander in chief. That is the highest ranking officer in the military. You cannot go against the president's orders if you are in the military, especially if you are a general. Just talking about this, just them plotting this to go against Trump and his orders on January 6th is treason. And they could face a maximum of 10 years in prison if they were convicted of this. But I wouldn't hold my breath for that because it is against Trump, and we know that no action will be taken. But this is just another example of how these people completely undermined Trump all through his presidency, and how they've done everything to take him out and delegitimize his presidency and his authority.
Yeah, I was reading with that. So,
That's Harold.
yeah, Harold, we're gonna answer your question. A lot of it it's multiple ones because we take our news from different articles from like Just the News, military news. I mean, they come from liberal sites and conservative sites both. So it's kind of hard to put everything up here that we do talk about on here. Now I can't tell you which ones we talk about each article and where they come from because most of mine are Just the News, Newsmax, Newsbreak. What's this one? Washington Journal. I guess so many that I can't really keep up, but yeah, I can try. I could try to do that.
Yeah,
but,
the ones I just referenced. The first one was from the Daily Mail, and then the U.S. Code. You can find that right on the House of Representatives website. But yeah, mine are kind of all over the place too.
Yeah, I named the topic of the article that I'm reading from first when I start most of these, and then so you can look those up on them. And it's not like when I do my other short videos where I can put links in at the same time. That's hard to do when you're streaming live. So, but I do put a link up in all the chats in here. Anyone who wants to come on live with our show and ask a question, just make a comment, or just to say hi, feel free to click on that link, and I'll see it come in here. And we can only take one at a time. And we'll be glad to have you guys on here and join us. And let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about the articles and the stuff that we're doing. And that's what we're waiting for. So let's get on with this. Now, first part, most of this segment is going to be on Donald Trump. So, I mean, because there's so much going on with this, and it's so pathetic of the persecution that he's going on. So that's why we're going to get into this. So, first article we got going on here today is, like I said, this is just the news. And the whodunit. Prosecutors admit key evidence in Trump's document case was tampered with. Now, the legal experts called the revelation a serious violation as Jack Smith's team admits it also misled the courts. Now you see this stuff that's going on with these guys and nobody's doing anything, and they're still letting this run afoul. Now, this hearing hasn't even started yet on the classified documents case. So hopefully something comes out of this soon. But in a stunning admission, Special Counsel Jack Smith's team is admitting that the key evidence in former President Donald Trump's classified documents criminal case was altered or manipulated since it was seized by the FBI. Now, I'm not surprised by this. If the prosecutors misled the courts about it for a long period of time. Now, I don't know how all these legal experts has told Just the News that the revelation could prove to be a serious problem for prosecutors and a violation of court rules to preserve evidence in the state it was seized. But oh, hell no. In a new filing on Friday, Smith's team said that the order of documents in some of the boxes of memos that were seized by the FBI from the Trump Mar-a-Lago estate was altered or jumbled, leaving two different chronologies. One was digitally scanned, and the another was a physical order of the box. Now, if you remember, if you guys don't know this, and for these liberals out there, they don't know shit. So the boxes, when they're videotaped, every piece of evidence in each box is videotaped, or back when they were taking pictures, and they have to be put back exactly where they were. Well, pieces are missing, and pieces were added. So there's where the problem comes in with all this. Now, some of the boxes were seized and stored. Appropriate personnel have had access to these boxes for several reasons, including to comply with orders issued by the courts in civil proceedings noted above, for investigative purposes to facilitate the defendant's review of the boxes. Now, Smith's team wrote in this new court filing to Judge Eileen Cannon, or Aileen, that some of the boxes were order of items within the boxes not the same as was associated with the scans the prosecution wrote. Now, they're admitting to this, and the team's footnote also conceded it misled the courts about the problem by previously declaring that the evidence had remained in the exact state, and it was not. So there is so much going on here that people had access to all these boxes that they took from Trump's home that could have put anything in or taken anything out, and nobody would know the wiser. So why isn't this case being thrown out?
No, it absolutely should be thrown out, and this is something that I forget where I heard this, but I guess there are reports coming out. You're not seeing this too much on the mainstream media, and you're not going to. But we all know the infamous picture of the documents sitting on the ground all spread out, so they made it look like Trump was extremely sloppy with these documents, which we all know that wasn't the case. It was the FBI that threw them on the ground. But you remember the covers that were on it that said top secret or whatever the exact wording was on it. We all know the picture. Supposedly, those covers were not even on these documents before the FBI raided. Apparently, the FBI, this is what they're reporting anyway, actually put those covers on these documents to make it look like it was super secret material, like the media has claimed,
Like
and
Biden.
that Trump was careless with it. Yeah, but the biggest difference with Trump and Biden is not only the fact that Trump was able to declassify and Biden wasn't. Biden did not have Secret Service protection when he was a senator. Remember, he had all these documents going back to his senator days. He did not have Secret Service protection. Nobody is just going to walk into Mar-a-Lago. You're not even going to get through the gate because Secret Service is everywhere. And these doors are all locked. These documents were in a safe. There's no possible way anybody would get in and get those documents that weren't supposed to, unless you're the FBI raiding Mar-a-Lago.
Well, the point is that Trump's Mar-a-Lago is protected by Secret Service 24/7,
Yes.
no matter what. If he's there or not, they're still there watching that place.
Absolutely.
So that is considered a secure area. Joe Biden's garage, with the garage door open by his special Corvette, is not. So
no,
it's totally different. And because they're not going to charge that piece of shit old demented fool because he's an old demented fool is bullshit.
Yeah, but another aspect of this, real quick, even if it turned out that something was in there that Trump wasn't supposed to have, if there was something, which I think he could declassify anything anyway. But let's just say that there was something there. Would anybody actually believe it at this point? Would anybody believe that this was not planted on him? I mean, all the stuff we've seen in the past, I mean, I can't believe anything I see from these people. Every negative thing they say about Trump anymore, I automatically just dismiss it because that's what it's been for the last how many years since 2016. Every negative thing they said about him, turned out to be bullshit. It turned out the people that were accusing him of doing whatever were actually guilty of doing it themselves. So that's the rule of thumb I live by when it comes to politics now, and especially when it pertains to Donald Trump.
We'll never
That's
get
what
the
it
truth
always.
out.
That's what always happens.
All these court cases need thrown out because they're all bullshit, and
They
we
all
all
do.
know it. And they're just wasting taxpayers' money. Make these DAs use their own money until they win a case. And once they win, you can pay them back. It would never happen.
Yeah, but they absolutely screwed themselves by doing this, though, because this is what is going to put Trump over. What's going to push him over the finish line? What's going to bring him to victory is the fact that people see all these bullshit cases against him, and that's making people come out and support. I mean, you see everywhere he goes now. He was at the Miami Grand Prix. What was that, yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
All those people there came to see him. Like, and this is everywhere he goes. I mean, no matter where he shows up, it doesn't matter if it's a red area or a blue area. There are people chanting USA when they see him, wanting to come up, shake his hand, take pictures with him. Joe Biden shows up somewhere. Yeah, Joe Biden shows up somewhere. Nobody gives two shits that he's there. Nobody pays attention to him. The only people that say anything to him are the ones heckling him. There is no scenario where Donald Trump loses this election legitimately. There is no way he legitimately loses this election.
Nope. Now that leads us to this. Donald Trump demands Jack Smith be arrested after this document revelation. Trump called for special counsel Jack Smith to be arrested after the prosecutor's team said some evidence in the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case are no longer in their original intact form. Now, a post on True Social, President Trump said he demanded the arrest of Jack Smith. He's a criminal. After a federal prosecutor wrote in the court filings, there are some boxes where the order of the items within the box is not the same as they appear in a digital scan, which I said in the first article. Now, of all the stuff that they took from his resort in August 2022. Now, this goes to show me that either the FBI, with or without Jack Smith's knowledge, could have removed, added paperwork, whatever, and put it in these boxes just to set Trump up.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm going to let you watch this video. It's about 1 minute, 6 seconds long about Trump wanting Jack Smith arrested. So take a look at this.
Former President Donald Trump's relentless crusade against special counsel Jack Smith has reached a fever pitch, as he calls for Smith's immediate arrest following startling revelations of evidence tampering in the ongoing Mar-a-Lago classified documents case. In a scathing post on his Truth Social platform, Trump wasted no time in launching a blistering attack on Smith, branding him as a deranged criminal and demanding swift action to hold him accountable for his alleged transgressions. The genesis of Trump's ire lies in recent court filings wherein federal prosecutors conceded that certain pieces of evidence in the Mar-a-Lago case are no longer in their original, intact form. A bombshell revelation that has sent shockwaves through the legal community and reignited fervent speculation about the integrity of the prosecution's case. Trump seized upon this admission as vindication of his long-standing claims of prosecutorial misconduct and evidence tampering, portraying himself as the victim of a politically motivated witch hunt orchestrated by his adversaries.
Now, you guys let me know what you guys think. You think Jack Smith needs to be arrested for this, and the case needs to be thrown out? You know, leave me a yes or no in the chat and see what you guys think, because that means a lot. You know, with people and the public, they always want to put the public out there, and they always want to judge this in the public eye, and I don't know why. It's about the law. It's not about what we think. It's about the law. But the Democrats don't seem to want to use the law. They want to go above and beyond the law. They think they are, and pretty much they have been. Look at Hillary Clinton. Look at everything she's done. And hers is a hell of a lot worse than this document bullshit.
Yeah. Shit, just look at Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah.
Look at everything he's tied up in. But absolutely, Jack Smith should be arrested, and all these Moscow show trials should be thrown out. I mean, in every one of these cases, you have somebody that either ran on the message of they're going to get Trump, or you have a judge that is openly anti-Trump with it, where their family member is donating to Biden campaign events or whatever and have their profile picture on social media with Trump behind bars, or it's a combination of the two. I mean, this is all about get Trump. This is not a prosecution. This is a persecution. Every one of these should be thrown out. Every one of these cases are completely weak. They have no case in any of these. Every one of them, at worst, if you were to find him guilty of what they are accusing him of, are nothing more than misdemeanors, and then they trump up the charges, no pun intended, to make them felonies, and they're trying to throw him in prison for 700 years. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. They are so terrified of this guy. It is unbelievable. You could sense the fear in the swamp the way they go after this guy. I mean, I'm telling you, if that does not motivate you to go out and vote for Trump, I don't know what will, because there is a reason that these people are so freaked out and are trying to take him out. They have not done this against any other politician, and we've had a lot of corrupt politicians that they could have legitimately went after, and they never have. There is a reason they want this guy gone, and it's because he opened every American's eyes and showed them what was going on behind the scenes that nobody else saw. And now it's all exposed. And what these people are freaking out about the most, they're trying to take out Trump, but they're trying to deter anyone in the future from running on the same message that he is, because they recognize that the MAGA movement is going to last far beyond Donald Trump. The MAGA movement is not Donald Trump. Donald Trump may have coined the phrase "Make America Great Again," but this movement is not going away. It's going to live on for generations if we continue to fight. And I think we're going to continue to fight.
Well, Make America Great should be in everybody's mouth.
You would think.
Democrat, Republican, Green Party, Libertarian, whatever the hell you are.
It should be. Absolutely.
Everybody. And it's not. That's the problem with this. And we see that in these idiotic college protests that these kids are saying, double barrel middle finger to the United States, spitting on the flag, stomping on the flag, taking down our flag, putting up a terrorist flag. That is not loving America. And that's not making America great again. And these people don't like it. They want to do this stuff. Get the hell out.
I agree 100%. And I will say I am absolutely loving seeing, if anybody that follows me on Facebook knows I've shared a lot of them over the last few days, the counter protests, the pro-American counter protests on all these college campuses. I mean, it is amazing to see, all these people just standing up against this and being proud to be American. I mean, it really is a great thing to see. And, hats off to every one of these college students that, defended the American flag or going out chanting USA and just bursting into the national anthem. It's a great thing to see.
But that takes us to the next case, this bullshit trial in New York. And Judge Merchant is making a case salacious as possible. And if you guys didn't hear today, folks, what the hell did I tell you? Oh, they found him in contempt of court again. And I didn't see the fine. I didn't see anything, but they're threatening to throw him in jail again. They're talking about this bullshit hush money trial and that fat Bragg. And this is a plan. I guarantee Bragg's and that judge shouldn't even be there right now because of his dumbass daughter. And he can't say anything to me about talking about his daughter and his dumbass, because they can't put a gag on me. And she made money off of this trial. She's making millions. She gave some to the Joe Biden campaign, and she gave some to the Democrats. Now, Trump speaking on Friday to reporters before entering the Manhattan courtroom where his trial was continuing, accused Judge Merchant, and he said, "I've tried to make the case against him as ludicrous as possible." This is from Merchant. "By allowing the testimony that has nothing to do with the case." And so why is he doing that if this is not fixed? He's trying to sway the jury's mind. Now, this is a quote from Trump. He wants to make it as salacious as possible by allowing testimony that has nothing to do with the case. That's exactly what Merchant said in court. But we all know this is bullshit case anyways. It's not illegal to pay hush money in New York City. So why would you falsify paperwork to hide it when it's not illegal? And I'm sick and tired of all these liberal idiots out there keep saying, well, he falsified paperwork. Why would he? Now, if any of you idiot liberals out there are listening, answer the question. Why would he falsify paperwork if it's not illegal? Please leave them in comments. I dare you. I've challenged you to come onto the show and ask you questions. You're too coward to come on here because you know we'll prove you wrong. And I'm sick of them running their mouths. All they want to do is run their mouth, and they go back to the same old thing. Well, you're racist, you're fascist, you're a bigot, whatever the hell they say. And they want to keep using that excuse. I'm sick of it. Stop running your mouth. Come on here and bring it. We dare you. Because we will outpick you. We will change your mouth. Well, we will never change your mind because you're an idiot with crayons and super glue and you're down there beating.
No, we'll just send them crying back to the basement. But anyway, it just goes to show you how ridiculous all these cases are. I mean, just think about this for a minute. So Trump has a gag order against him, right? Can't really speak about anything with the case. But that's not stopping others from going in the media against Trump and talking about this case, whether it's prosecutors or whatever else it is. You have other people speaking on the case against Trump, but you're going to gag Trump and you're not going to let him talk and you're going to threaten to throw him in jail. I'm telling you what, I dare you, throw him in jail. You want to ensure that this man is the 47th president of the United States, throw him in jail. If Donald Trump gets arrested and gets taken to jail, taken in handcuffs and put in an orange jumpsuit, he will be the next president of the United States. But anyway, I want to direct attention to the chat here real quick. This is from Harold. He says, now I am not a lawyer, but couldn't Ron DeSantis AG press charges for a crime that was perpetrated in the state of Florida when evidence was tampered with and fake evidence was planted by the FBI? I would certainly think so.
I would look that up so you can keep talking if you want.
Okay, I'll keep talking. But yeah, it's just every one of these cases, like we said before, this is not a prosecution. This is a persecution. There is no scenario in a constitutional republic where you have one side talking against you, the prosecution, but you as the defendant cannot defend yourself, despite the fact that they're going to the media, the prosecution's going to the media and saying every negative thing about you possible. And not only is the judge holding him in contempt and finding him up to I think it was $9,000 because it was $1,000 for each count, and it was 9 counts. I believe that's what we mentioned earlier.
Yep.
But finding him up to $9,000 and threatening to throw him in jail. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. This is the stuff you see in third world nations. And I'm telling you, people, this is the fight. This is the time to join the fight because I'm telling you, it's not going to stop at Donald Trump. It's going to come for all of us if we do not stand up and fight against this. I mean, I really believe this election is our last stand. We have to be out. We have to be out in full force this election. If we do not put Donald Trump back in the White House, this country is completely finished. And guess what? There are going to be plenty of us going and sitting in courtrooms for stuff we've said on social media that the regime does not agree with. That day is coming. You don't think it could happen? What if I would have told you 10 years ago that the whole world would be shut down for a virus? You have a 99.9% chance of surviving. That would have sounded crazy 10 years ago, but look where we're at today. That will happen. We will go through the same shit that Donald Trump is going through today if we do not put him back in the White House this election.
Yep. Now we're going to get into Trump makes an announcement about his VP pick just before the GOP convention. Now, who do you guys think that he's going to pick for his running mate? Let me know in chat if you guys have an idea of who you would like to see or who you think he's going to actually put in. Now,
my vote would be Tucker Carlson. That'd be great.
President Trump this week said that he will likely announce his choice of running mate not too much before the Republican National Convention in July. Now, he said he will be picking, but probably right before the convention. So he's not going to give anything out, which I happen to be having he's going to have this in the great state of Wisconsin. Now, he said during his visit to Wisconsin on Wednesday, now there's a long list of candidates that Trump could pick. Now, here are some of them. They have Republican Senator Marco Rubio from Florida, J.D. Vance from Ohio, Tim Scott of South Carolina, as well as North Dakota's GOP Governor Doug Burgum. But again, let me know what you guys think. Who do you think that he'll pick, or who do you want to see him pick as his VP? Because this is going to be kind of important, because a VP does matter, because look at the idiot that we have in there right now. And the idiots black women voted for her because she's a black woman, because she's as dumb as hell. So we know she doesn't deserve the spot. So
No.
Why else would she have been in there? Because she's dumb. I mean,
DEI.
I don't even know how she passed the bar.
DEI didn't earn it. That's what it comes down to. But me personally, I don't know if it's going to be. I think it's going to be somebody that nobody is considered. I'm not saying it's going to be Tucker Carlson. That's what I would like to see, though. But I think this is all misdirection. I think everybody's going to be pretty surprised by who he picks. I don't see it being any of those people. One, Marco Rubio flip-flops too much. Same with Tim Scott. I think Tim Scott's weak as hell. I wouldn't pick him. J.D. Vance is good, but he's more valuable in the Senate. Same with Byron Donalds. Byron Donalds is more valuable in the House.
I like Byron Donald, though. So
I do too. I like J.D. Vance too, but I think those two are more valuable where they're at currently. So I don't know if I'd pick those two just for that reason.
It's all about what they do, not as who they are. It's about what they do. But I do have a small short video here of 36 seconds on the Trump's VP pick. Listen to this.
As bizarre as it may sound, even by Donald Trump's standards, here is a key question in the race to be his running mate. Is shooting your puppy in the face disqualifying? Reports vary about why contender Kristi Noem put that story in her new book. One theory is to head off a disclosure by someone else. Another, to make her out as battle ready. She frames it as an example of leaders having to make tough choices. And the entire process is amping up speculation about the race to be Trump's number 2, while also amping up the jokes.
Age is the only thing we have in common. My vice president actually endorses me.
While Trump has suggested he'll wait until close to the convention to make his selection, a key moment may be next month, when many of the top contenders are expected to join Trump at a fundraising retreat in Florida.
That just irks me, and I had to go to MSNBC to find this, and then that was the worst and the hardest thing I could do. But he's an idiot. She's an idiot. They are dumb and dumber. If you ever watch the show, that is exactly them. And it just irks me every time I have to watch it, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I will say one thing. If you want to know what direction things are going, MSNBC will tell you, because you could just see the liberal hysteria, what they're most concerned about or what they're most afraid about. And if you turn it on, it's all 24/7. It's Trump's a racist, Trump's a Nazi, Trump's gonna force women to have their rapist baby and shit like this. It's just, but it's I like to call it, and hope this joke doesn't offend anybody, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I always call it PMS NBC, because they're always so emotional on there. I mean, it's all driven by emotion. There's no thinking. There's no rationale. It's all emotion. It's just
all these idiot liberal stations, these fake news media want to bring up about this dog deal. Now, if you're a hunter out there, you'll know what she was talking about. The dog became vicious. The dog wasn't hunting, wasn't chasing anything. And when that happens, if they hunt the wrong thing, you'll put it down because it's worthless. And they just want to run this and try to use it as another tactic to get votes, because they have nothing to run on. So they use the littlest things and turn them into a big story. that doesn't mean anything of what they are talking about. So this is why we get on here and do these videos, do these live streams, because of idiots like that on MSNBC, CNN, CNBC, CNN, The View, some of the worst pieces of shit people I've ever seen in my life. And they can all drop off the face of the earth, and I wouldn't lose an ounce of sleep.
How could you talk about your girl Whoopi like that?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, never mind. We're gonna get out of that.
But
Anyway,
or who do you like more, Joy Behar?
yeah, right.
But
Napolitano,
yeah,
ex-judge.
but
What?
yeah, yeah. But anyway, real quick, just to add to this, real quick, and I'll be quick. This whole story is just kind of ridiculous in a way, because now all of a sudden the left they value life. All of a sudden, this is the same group that wants to kill their unborn child with no excuse, but now all of a sudden now they're so appalled about her putting a dog down. And I'm a huge dog lover. I love dogs more than I like people, if I'm being honest. But I mean, sometimes depend on the circumstances. I mean, who knows? I wasn't there. None of us were there. Sometimes that is the humane thing to do in certain situations, depending on if the dog's in serious pain or whatever. Sometimes that's the necessary thing to do. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody even wants to say it, but I mean, that's just how it is sometimes. I don't know the exact scenario, but at the same time, I just think it's funny the left values life again.
Yeah, right. Only because election time. As soon as that goes, they'll go right back to where they were at before. So, former judge Napolitano to Newsmax: Trump talk outside the New York court was a brilliant strategy. President Donald Trump's commentary outside the fraud trial of court in New York is a brilliant strategy that ensures his version of the process will get into the heads of listeners, including jurists. Former judge Napolitano told Newsmax on Friday. He conceded that Trump shouldn't be making those out-of-court comments because he may say something that's incriminating without realizing it, and the government is taping everything. So they will use anything and everything they can against this man. But he also pointed out that Donald Trump is doing, when he is speaking in the hallway, he's testifying without being cross-examined, which is brilliant. Napolitano pointed out when jurors go home and do what they're not supposed to do, which is turn the TV on, they are going to hear these comments, what Trump says, outside the court. And even though it doesn't mean that they are going to take it to face value, on what he says, but they are human, so they are going to get it into their heads, the version of things over and over and over again, which I think is a good thing, because they are not getting the truth with this corrupt ass judge and fat ass DA Braggs and their stacking of the jury pool. So this is, I believe it's a pretty good idea too, a good strategy. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the way that Trump has handled this has been incredible. I don't know if this has been his own doing, or if he had some help with his team, or if it was a little bit of both. But like I talked about before, not only him speaking outside the courtroom like he does every time he gets out of court, he goes and speaks to the media and reminds everyone what a bogus case this is, but he's also using this opportunity to go and talk to the people, in this case in New York, because he's stuck in New York. He's showing up at a bodega, he's showing up at the fire department, he's showing up at sandwich shops or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's a brilliant strategy. I mean, the whole point of having Trump every day in court was to keep him from campaigning. And really, this goes far back, this strategy with Trump. I mean, this is really brilliant. Like, a lot of us didn't see it at the time, but now you look and you could see just something like Truth Social alone. He was banned on Twitter, banned on a bunch of other social media sites, and he couldn't get his word out. So he came out with his own social media platform to get out his word, and everybody, everybody sees it. They even put his True Social posts up on left-wing media. He's getting his word out that way. They try to keep him from campaigning and silencing him with a gag order and keeping him in court every day. But instead, he's going and speaking to the media, and he's actually going to see the people after he gets out. I mean, this is a brilliant campaign. This is something that's going to be quite detailed in the history books years from now. I mean, this is probably one of the best campaign strategies in the history of our nation.
Now, sticking with the same trial, Trump shaking his head in disbelief as his attorney admits he went out of his way to bash witnesses. Now, I couldn't believe this when I heard this, but a lawyer for Trump insisted on a contempt hearing Thursday, and his client comments on jurors and witnesses and do not run afoul on the gag order. So even he conceded that the Republican candidate is not merely responding to attacks, but actively seeking out opportunities to spout off on his trial. Now, this is what the judge Merchant said. It was your client who went out and down to the holding area and stood in front of the press and started speaking. Merchant told Trump's attorney, Todd Blanche, he went to the press and he didn't need to go that direction. Now, Trump's attorney answers, and I can't believe this, I agree with that. This is how he responds to the judge. He doesn't fight it. He doesn't argue about it. He agreed with the judge. Now, what the hell? Trump did not appear to enjoy that particular exchange after his lawyers agreed with the judge, and Trump shot around and glared at his own lawyer in disbelief, his mouth hanging open, and then he turned back around to face forward, repeatedly shaking his head no. Now, you believe his own attorney would say this? If he was my attorney, he would have been fired immediately. Now, talking
Absolutely.
about, why the hell would you not fight for your client instead of believing this, and agreeing with the judge on this stuff?
Yeah, he's the one paying you. Well, maybe the judge is paying him too. It wouldn't surprise me out of these cases. I mean, it's just it's just we really have never seen anything like this in this country before. I mean, everything is so ass backwards. Due process has gone out the freaking window when it comes to Donald Trump. I mean, like we say every show, these are not prosecutions; these are persecutions. Donald Trump's going to be found guilty in this case. I think it was already predetermined. It doesn't matter that he did nothing wrong. The judge and the jury that they selected have had their minds made up this entire time. Donald Trump will be found guilty on this, have to pay, pay more fines, possibly face jail time. But you know what? Whatever. It doesn't matter. This man is going to be the 47th president of the United States if we all do our job and go out and vote. None of this matters.
It all matters, dude. We got these idiots on here that does all this crap, and this is what we have to stop. Now, the idiot part here, and talking about shaking your head, Biden is awarding Medal of Freedom to 6 current and former Democrat politicians. And you won't believe it. It includes Nancy Pelosi, John Kerry. Now, I've got this video for you. It's about 2 minutes long, but explaining this debacle of Joe Biden's. Listen to this.
At the White House today, President Biden awarded the Medal of Freedom, America's highest civilian honor, to 19 people. The diverse group of recipients range from inspiring activists to Olympic heroes. Here's CBS's Weijia Zhang.
The recipients represent many fields, from politics to sports to Hollywood, but they share one thing in common: how much their work has impacted the nation.
19 incredible people whose relentless curiosity, inventiveness, ingenuity, and hope have kept faith in a better tomorrow.
Several of them broke barriers when they marked firsts in history. Ellen Ochoa was the first Hispanic woman in space, a trip she's made 4 times. Michelle Yeoh recently became the first Asian to win the Academy Award for Best Actress.
You believe in the devil?
Darn right.
Journalist Phil Donahue pioneered the issue-oriented TV talk show.
Now the first person to win 5.
Katie Ledecky has 7 Olympic gold medals as the most decorated female swimmer ever. Several politicians were honored too. First female Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, who held the leadership position for 2 terms.
Sing faster, Melvin.
Former Vice President Al Gore, who also holds a Nobel Peace Prize for his work on climate change. Congressman Jim Clyburn and Senator Elizabeth Dole. The civil rights activist who helped draft that historic speech, Clarence B. Jones, is among the recipients. So is Opal Lee, known for her efforts to make Juneteenth a federally recognized holiday, and Medgar Evers, whose daughter accepted his award. Evers was murdered after leading the fight against segregation in Mississippi. All of them shaped America as we know it. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, the White House.
Are you kidding me? The Presidential Medal of Freedom is the highest civilian award in the United States, along with the Congressional Gold Medal. It's an award bestowed by a decision of the President of the United States to recognize people who have made an especially meritorious contribution to the security or national interest of the United States, world peace, culture, or significant public or private endeavors. I did not hear hardly anybody, maybe 2 or 3 of them, that deserves this. Now, instead, President Joe Biden is expected to award these nations' highest to honor 19 people, including a number of Democrat politicians like former House Pelosi. What the hell has she done for this country except ruin it? Failed presidential candidate John Kerry, Al Gore, Michael Bloomberg. This list also includes 1 Republican, former one-term national, and listen to this, former Carolina national senator, North Carolina Senator Elizabeth Dole, the widow of Republican presidential nominee Bob Dole. So anybody can tell me out there in chat or whatever how Nancy Pelosi, John Kerry, or any of these idiots deserve this award. They have just made a mockery of this award.
Yeah, well, Nancy Pelosi does keep she does give a lot of money to Jack Daniels. She consumes a lot of Jack Daniels. She always seems drunk every time she talks. But no, it's the participation trophy thing. You know, it's like you said, there were maybe 2, 3 at the max that maybe actually deserved this award. But why there were members of Congress in there, were there not? Did I see that correctly?
Well,
we're getting that award.
Yeah, I can't remember everything that was on that video.
But definitely Nancy Pelosi. What in the hell do you get that? Isn't that supposed to be a civilian award?
That's what it says.
So why do you get that regardless of what you do? Even if you agree with everything Nancy Pelosi does, first off, if you agree with anything Nancy Pelosi does, you need your head examined. But if you're doing something and it involves your job that you were at least supposedly elected to do, how are you getting a civilian medal? How are you getting a civilian award? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I can think of plenty of other people that should be getting that award, like our border patrol, service members, our border patrol agents, our police officers, our firefighters. I can think of plenty of people that have contributed far more to this country than Nancy Pelosi. I can think of plenty. There is no reason that any sitting member of Congress, any politician in general, should get this award. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's just
it's not. Nobody in there has done anything to contribute to security or national interest of the United States or world peace or the culture or significant, except for maybe the guy that wrote the Martin Luther King thing. Okay,
Yeah.
he helped, and that other woman, that other little black woman,
Yeah.
and them, but not John Kerry and
No.
Nancy Pelosi, Al Gore on a fake climate change
Yeah,
hoax bullshit.
and even Bob Dole's wife. What I'm assuming she
Yeah.
accepted it on behalf of Bob Dole.
I
I'm
don't
assuming
know,
that.
because he just said it included her in her. They didn't say why.
Well, that would be well. Regardless, what the hell did Bob Dole do, and what did she do? I don't even know. I don't even know his wife's name, and they just said it. I forgot already. But that just shows you she's not. She's not. No. What did any of these people do to deserve this award?
If you
Absolutely
guys know
nothing.
in chat, let us know, because we are dumbfounded by this, because that award is just, they made that award doesn't mean anything anymore, because they're giving it to people that doesn't do a thing, it has never done a thing. And that is pathetic. And this is why we do these videos, because November 5th is coming up so fast on us. And this election is the most important election I think we'll see. It is in my lifetime. I'm telling you that.
Absolutely is. It's probably the most important one in our nation's history. That's why I said I cannot stress this enough. It's here I'm gonna read Harold's thing he put in the chat here, because this applies to this. Yeah. It goes this. This is a famous quote. First, they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. Now, that's a shortened version of that entire quote. It goes through a few things, but that is what we are saying here. Just because it's not you today doesn't mean it's not going to be you a couple of years from now. What they are doing to Donald Trump, they intend to do to every one of us. This is going to be the most important election in our nation's history. I cannot stress this enough. This is the whole reason that we do this, because me and Charlie don't make any money off this. We don't get anything for doing this. We do this because this is so important where we're at right now. I really believe the future of this nation hangs in the balance of this election. I mean, I've never, even though I'm young, I've never felt that way before about this. Like, it's scary in a way to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything they're doing to Donald Trump, this is a warning shot to us. Everything they're doing to him, it is a warning shot to us that this is what they will do to us if we do not fall back in line. No, and we're not going to fall back in line. We're not going away. We're not backing off of this at all. We're going to continue to fight like hell.
Now, that was where this valiant Thor's remark goes into play. Astonishing how our words are more patrolled than the southern border.
Absolutely.
Now, they're exactly right, because
that's right.
They watch us. They want to shut us down. They want to censor us like crazy, but they're going to let all these illegal criminals come across that border, do what the hell they want, let them fly wherever the hell they want, give them the money all they want. Then these some bitches go around and they're wanting to sue the government for more shit because they're not getting enough free stuff.
Yeah.
So, valiant Thor, you are exactly right. It's a shame what this country's turned into.
Can I just say real quick that I am extremely surprised we're still up on YouTube, because that's a comment from somebody watching us on YouTube. I cannot believe we have not been pulled off YouTube yet. I am honestly surprised.
I've got hopefully both my page and the Conservative Viewpoint page up on YouTube right now. Now, to get to our the Conservative Viewpoint YouTube page, I have to send a link out, because for some reason it still doesn't come up, and I have it marked down as Conservative Viewpoint. But when you type it in to search, it will not come up, and I don't know why. I don't know if they're shadow banning me or what, but it's so screwed up on YouTube. I'm just waiting to see how fast I get kicked off of it. But anyways, I want you guys to know, please go to our Rumble pages. Mine is Country Conservative on Rumble, and Brendan's is Brendan Statler Show, right?
Yep, that's right.
Check out our videos. Please share them. Even our live stream, share them with your friends and family. Get more people to view for us. Get our word out to more people, because we're here to get the truth to people, because Conservative Viewpoint is where the truth always matters.
And we're both on Twitter, by the way. We're both on
Right.
Twitter. We got to advertise our Twitter. I'm on Twitter. My handle is at Let's Go Brendan _5. My name on there is the Brendan Statler Show, so you can follow me on there. I also post my videos on Twitter in addition to Rumble. Charlie, I don't know what your handle is if you want to advertise for yourself on Twitter.
Oh, I'm still Country Conservative on Twitter too. And believe it or not, on Facebook, if you're not on Twitter or X, on Facebook, I'm Charlie Brown. Believe it or not, yes it is. And look, I got the hair to prove it. So you could go to any one of them. You can add me as a friend on Facebook. Go follow me on Twitter, Rumble too. Don't forget, follow us, thumbs up, everything like that.
Charlie,
So,
you should play the Peanuts theme at the beginning of every one of your videos.
Yeah, but you have to pay for the royalties on that. I tried that.
Just put you don't own the rights to music. That's
Yeah,
it'll be okay.
I got a video pulled on YouTube because of that crap.
Well, if that's the case, my ass is getting sued.
Yeah, that's all we have for you tonight. So stay tuned, Patriots. We'll be back tomorrow night for more unfiltered truth, bold opinions, and a dash of common sense. Until then, keep your eyes on the Constitution and your ears on the conservative viewpoint. Before we sign off, a quick reminder: liberty is like a muscle. You've got to exercise it to keep it strong. So flex those intellectual biceps, stay informed, and catch us tomorrow night on the Conservative Viewpoint. Thank you for watching, and everyone have a good night.
Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.